Microsoft is the market leader in the PC industry. However, the PC and personal devices market is converging. If Microsoft misses this window of convergence, it will become irrelevant and will become a relic of the technological past. Today you've asked us, how can Microsoft succeed in the mobile cloud game? In particular, you've asked us questions in relation to platform, devices, integration, and culture. With regards to devices, Microsoft should make its own integrated operating system. In addition to this, it should also develop its own devices, as well as providing its platform for other device partners to use. In regards to platform, Microsoft needs to effectively manage the conflict of interest between itself in the mobile and tablet market and its device partners who also use its platform. With regards to integration with Nokia and culture, Microsoft needs to adopt an execution-based integration where creativity and innovation are fostered and rewarded. I'd first like to briefly have a look at what Microsoft needs to do in order to encourage other device manufacturers to use its platform and how it can manage any conflicts of interest. As I previously mentioned, Microsoft will develop its own devices to use its platform, as well as offer this platform to other device manufacturers. Firstly, Microsoft needs to carefully choose who it will allow to use its platform. This is important because the devices that it uses needs to be able to fully showcase the functionality and features of Microsoft's operating system. Therefore, Microsoft needs to choose partners which are reputable, have high quality and functional products. Secondly, Microsoft needs to be able to encourage people to use their operating systems and also manage the risks and conflicts associated with this. In this way, Microsoft needs to communicate a few things to its potential partners. Firstly, it needs to communicate the features and functionality of its operating system over those already on the market. Secondly, it also needs to communicate that its platform updates will also be provided to its device partners, and that will also assist in any compatibility issues between its platform and their partners' devices. And thirdly, it also needs to emphasize that it's providing their platform at a fair market price. Microsoft's current attempts to enter into the mobile cloud industry have been relatively unsuccessful. This industry is dominated by two major players, Apple and Samsung. Therefore, in order for Microsoft to be able to penetrate and succeed in this market, it needs to adopt a targeted and focused strategy. Therefore, we present our strategy, Platform for Growth, and this has three aspects. The first aspect is shifting customers' perceptions of Microsoft and also communicating Microsoft's products and platform's unique features. Secondly, Microsoft needs to encourage and reward a culture of innovation and creativity. And thirdly, Platform for Growth is focused and targeted in relation to customers and devices. For customers, Microsoft will first target their new mobile devices at specific segments of the market, such as university students. In relation to devices, Microsoft first needs to prove itself in the tablets game by leveraging its core competencies and functionality before being able to fully enter into and succeed in the mobile market. By implementing our strategy, Platform for Growth, Microsoft will be able to see a 30% increase in net income over the next 5 years. That was an overview of our presentation. I'll now pass on to Matt and Victoria, who will go over our analysis and strategy.
Thank you, Samantha. In analysing your company, we identified two key issues. The first is the market consolidation and the competitiveness of the industry that you're in. Most customers are connected to at least one of mobiles, tablets, or computers in the core regions and geographies that you operate in, such as Asia, Europe, and the Americas. As a result, Microsoft's focus cannot be on growing the market size as a whole, but instead needs to be focused upon stealing and switching market share from your competitors to yourself. The second issue we identified relates to innovation. Microsoft has not been known for leading the innovation curve or coming up with the most creative or exciting products in the past. It is crucial that you do not lag behind the curve, as there is only a small window of opportunity between when a competitor introduces a product and the window that you have to introduce a similar product in order to stay in the game. If you fall too far behind or don't begin to innovate in a serious way yourselves, you face becoming extinct.
So in light of this analysis, we've constructed our strategy, Platform for Growth. The reason we have opted for this strategy is because Microsoft used to be the market leader in the high-tech industry. Your strategies that you are currently pursuing are a step in the right direction to put Microsoft back on the top. However, we have a few key improvements as to how those strategies could become more effective and more useful. The first of those improvements is around the execution of your cultural strategy. The second is around your brand perception and innovation. And the third is a focused strategy for getting your platform into the most devices possible and having the strongest Microsoft ecosystem.
Beginning with an execution-based integration. Today, you asked us, A, how to integrate fully and properly with Nokia, and secondly, how to orchestrate this cultural change of innovation. There are two key elements of our execution-based integration strategy. The first is about how to deal with Nokia, and the second is about executing your One Microsoft strategy. The One Microsoft strategy is a significant step in the right direction. It is important that you execute it properly for it to have the meaning and the impact that you desire of it. With Nokia, it is important that you eliminate any uncertainty the staff there may have in order to stem or prevent the flow of talent away from Nokia to your competitors. This must be led by the CEO, Nadala. He must go to the Finland Nokia headquarters and have meetings and do speeches in front of key Nokia personnel. The key messages that he must highlight is the new One Microsoft strategy, your ambitious plans for growth, and your new and renewed focus on innovation. Convince the Nokia staff that they will have great career prospects within Microsoft, just as they had as Nokia, and help reassure them that the merger will be A, a success, and B, a great thing for them personally. On the execution side of the cultural change that was implemented by Nadala's predecessor with One Microsoft, it's important you take a couple of key steps to make sure this is executed meaningfully. You must lead by example. Nadala should meet with his senior executive team every fortnight to help communicate what the new culture is about, the fact that there's no longer internal competitiveness, but instead that One Microsoft is about one team trying to be the best innovator in the market. Reward cultural carriers and early adopters of this strategy and help them enable others to lead by leading by example. Hire the attitude. Look for people that are adopting it early and promote them so that they can lead the change, as well as measuring and reassessing how the cultural change is going and what improvements can be made on a regular basis. In this way, you can compete with the best, competing with Google and Apple by having the same attraction and incentives for your employees so that they know that when they're working for Microsoft, it has meaning and they will have the room to grow and innovate as they desire.
So the second issue is surrounding your brand perception. Microsoft is the market leader for your Windows operating system as well as your Microsoft Office products. However, this only extends to the PC market. This market is in decline, and additionally, consumers are now trending towards tablets and mobile devices where Microsoft does not have a strong presence or a strong integration. Therefore, you need to change your perception from one of an old clunky PC manufacturer and software company to that of an innovative company and one that has an integrated product line. By integrated product line, we mean that your ecosystem extends beyond a PC to include tablets, the cloud, and mobile devices. There are two key things that you need to do this. The first of those is surrounding your culture, which Victoria's already mentioned. One key thing to add here is that you must align your incentives of your staff to be focused on innovation. This might be done through a innovation cup that is held within Microsoft, where employees have the opportunity to present their ideas for a next innovation, or awarding the top innovation team member within each of the Microsoft teams. The second aspect is the innovation of your products. You need to have a strong Windows operating system amongst the full range of products that your competitors already offer, as well as looking into the development of future products. This may lead you towards a concept known as the Internet of Things, where each device that we interact with on a daily basis is connected to other devices as well as the Internet. Microsoft needs to have an innovation team that is focused around new product development. Microsoft was the first mover in the PC market and has the strongest operating system there. However, you have fallen behind in the tablet market and the mobile market. By focusing on future products, you'll be able to be back at the top when those future products start to come in. An additional benefit of being at the top here is that your customers are essentially locked into the Microsoft ecosystem. If a customer has a Windows phone, a Windows tablet, a Windows PC, and whatever other Windows products you deem necessary, they will be unlikely to switch to an Apple iPhone or an Android phone. Therefore, you lock them in for all the products that you produce.
We've now talked you through the culture-based integration and the focus you need to have on a new innovation team and a change in the brand perception of Microsoft to being one of creativity and innovation. In figuring out how to achieve the ambitious growth targets you've set for yourself, we analysed your customers. When you look at the platform and the devices that Microsoft provide, the customer experience is most greatly influenced by the platform rather than the handset. As a result, when customers make their purchase decision, they first make a decision about whether or not they want an iOS, an Android, or a Windows operating system. Once they've made that decision, they then look for a device that fits their price range and fits their needs that operates on that system. As a result, it is crucial that you focus on platforms. For this reason, one of the questions you asked us, should you develop devices that also operate Android operating system, we've answered no. This would detract from the Windows platform, which needs to be your focus and area of competitive advantage. Within the platform competitive landscape, there are three major players, yourself, Apple, and Google. Where within the devices industry, it is much more fragmented and it will be harder for you to gain a significant share of that market. However, we're not saying abandon devices altogether. They're an important revenue stream and they help with the integration of all the different Windows products. Alongside this, your Nokia products should be aimed to show best practice or to highlight or show off the very best that the Windows and Microsoft operating platform has to offer. Android has gained a large amount of market share by being the only other major player in the platform industry currently. That is because customers have no real choice and it's able to be produced cheaply on less good quality handsets. By proving that the Microsoft platform is a success and can work, you can gain a large section of the middle market. Those that do not want to make an Apple purchase decision, but those that want something more functional and higher quality than the handsets and devices that Android operates on. Therefore, your Nokia phones should be stylish, functional, and aimed at that middle market to show off that all crucial and important platforms.
In order to prove that the Microsoft operating system is superior, you'll need a targeted entry into the ecosystem game. Your core competency is that of your operating system. This lends itself perfectly to the tablet market. Therefore, you should focus on the tablet market, developing a strong operating system there, and marketing that to a targeted audience in order to gain stronger appreciation of how good the Windows operating system is, and then that will flow through naturally to increasing mobile phone sales of the Windows platform. We're not saying that you abandon creating your Nokia phones, but that you choose to target more resources at your tablet market initially before moving to the mobile phones. Doing that will mean that people will have an appreciation of how good the Windows operating system is, and that it's possible to work on these next generation devices, not just PCs, before they decide to have a Windows phone.
Another insight of your customers is that there is a high switching cost. If people are satisfied with their current platform, then it takes a lot of effort to convince them to give the Microsoft or Windows operating platform a try. For this reason, that is why we suggest targeting tablets first. And with those tablets, we'd like you to first target corporate customers and students. By doing so, you're leveraging your core competency, the functionality and the benefits of Microsoft Office and the Windows operating system. We see students and corporate customers using these tablets for the Microsoft Office package for work and for study. By doing so, focusing on them first will help you gain traction in the market. From there, you can expand your reach to a more mass market focus.
So the two things that you need to really push in this marketing strategy are the integration of the Windows devices, so that your Windows can be used at home on your PC, as well as your tablet, and eventually your mobile phone. Secondly, you need to push the functionality. Most people love Microsoft Office, and the fact that the Windows operating system uses this best is a key selling point. In order to market these within corporates, you'll approach them using your regular corporate team and potentially need to offer special deals to get them on side with the Windows operating system initially. For uni students, you should pursue a range of competitions where they have the opportunity to interact with Microsoft and win Microsoft products, as well as the advertising that comes with those. Those competitions could include a web development competition, an app development competition, or ideas for new devices that Windows operating systems could run on.
That was an overview of our strategy, Platform for Growth. We've talked you through 3 key aspects of that strategy. The first is focusing on a proper and meaningful integration of Nokia and a cultural shift towards the One Microsoft strategy. The second was a new focus on innovation, and the third is a targeted based growth strategy that focuses on A, leveraging your core competencies to make headways in tablets, and focusing on corporate consumers and students first. We'll now pass you on to Matt to walk you through the financials.
As we have mentioned, at the moment you currently have a very small share of the mobile device market through your Windows operating system on both the Surface and other tablets and the Windows 8 phones. Even though this is compared to your dominance in the PC and laptop market with your operating system, Windows, and Microsoft Office. We, over the next 5 years, see that you need to focus on extending your reach with the tablets and mobiles, increasing your share of the market to over a third so that you can gain critical mass and compete with Apple and Google. Apple was the first and had a first person to really enter the mobile market and gained a large share, followed by Google, who gained a lot of the lower end consumers. We see you as sitting in the middle and leveraging your abilities with PCs and Microsoft Office to target corporate and university students and get them using these devices so they can use their documents across all platforms and utilizing your cloud services. This will be aided through the rebranding of Windows as a company to show that you are more innovative and that your systems lead the charge, that they are changing the way we do and operate. This overall will change the way that you receive revenue. Your revenue share will shift with through Nokia acquisition to be more focused on devices. Currently your device share of revenue is very small, and we see this increasing to about a quarter, so roughly the same as your operating systems, your apps, and your cloud. Your cloud business as a share of revenue will stay roughly the same, as we just see the cloud overall as increasing the profitable and increasing in market size due to the general trend in shift to cloud-based computing, while the apps and operating systems will decrease as a percentage of your revenue share. We believe together they can work well with devices that you sell using your operating system and using your apps, and then going and using the cloud as well. So it's important to get all 4 working together well. Now let's look at the overall financial gain of our strategy. You'll see that revenue will grow in the long term into 7.5% growth in the 5th year. This is from slow growth initially, as it will take time to implement our changes, and we are more focused on a long-term strategy. This will increase revenue from $78 billion to $96 billion by the end of year 5, while at the same time costs will increase from $50 to $60 billion. The cost increases will be larger in the first 2 years as we integrate Nokia into the company, and the costs associated with reorganizing and incentivizing your workers, as we explained in our strategy. Overall, we see net income increasing from 28 billion to 36 billion, a 30% growth in overall net income, and increasing the value of your company to 360 billion. I'll now hand back to Samantha for conclusion.
Sorry, is it time's up?
Time's up.
They cannot continue anymore if it's time's up.
Yes, very sorry. Thank you very much, Team Auckland. But unfortunately, your time is over. I'll ask. Yeah.
We're now open to questions.
Any questions?
Okay. Question about the number. Actually, I have some question on the strategy, but let's go straight to the number. You suggest that after implementation of all this stuff, 5 years time, 30% growth, average only 5%. But if you look at the Microsoft revenue history, in the past 10 years, every single year, the growth rate was more than 5%. So what the hell we have to execute all this if we only 2%, 3%, 4% in the coming 3 years?
Yeah, so we believe that this financial analysis is conducted under the premise that this is the added value that you'll get. So essentially revenue will increase at that same rate. However, this is the value on top of that increase that we are adding to your company.
So it means it's incremental.
Yes.
On the generic growth. What do you think will be the generic growth then? Because to me, it's nothing generic in this industry. It's evolving every day. So if this is incremental, let me know what's in your mind is the generic growth that will be added on top of your figures.
Because of the continuing software and device development that Microsoft continues within its day-to-day basis, we see, without knowing exactly what the next new technology or thing in the industry will be, we think you'll continue to grow at a 4 to 5% growth rate per annum, and this is on top of that. Assuming that you are able to keep up with your competitors, that is. Our strategy is aimed to ensure that you do, as well as overtake them. A key risk is that that growth will actually be less than 4 to 5% if you don't take steps to become more innovative like them.
Thank you.
I've got a quick question about, you talked very early in your presentation about culture, about kind of making sure that the strategy is understood by the top team. So for our CEO to be going out and seeing, go to Nokia, going to talking to the top team every fortnight. How do you propose to get the message down throughout the ranks? Microsoft has over 100,000 employees, and obviously Nadella cannot possibly reach out to every individual individually. So, I mean, like you've talked about the top team. How do you propose to get the message out? How do you propose to get the message to be consistently delivered?
The cultural change needs to be a really key focus of Nadella, and the letters he's already sent are a really positive step in making sure the message is coming from the top throughout all of the 100,000 plus Nokia employees. Nadella should also take steps to talk in front of those people as much as possible, whether it's phone conferences that all employees can dial into, or VC presentations where people from all of the Microsoft offices around the world can tune in and feel like there really is, that Nadella or the CEO is speaking personally to them. It's important for all of the employees to buy in and feel like they're a part of the change. Therefore, as much face-to-face interaction, even if it does have to be over the telephone or over video conference, is important. With the fortnightly meetings, we were hoping to communicate the message, I guess, more intensely and more thoroughly with senior executives so that they can then have meetings within their divisions and within their respective management teams to hopefully have a trickle-down effect into each of the engineering divisions and the support divisions as well.
Yeah, and just to build on that, you can also have the auditing system for your managers, so that the communication does flow down, obviously from the top, and the employees look to the top, but also your managers need to be held accountable for keeping those culture, so it works the way back up.
You talk about would like to focus the markets to corporate and students, and you do the promotions, and focus on the corporates. Can you tell me a little bit more why corporate and student first?
Okay, so your core competency throughout the years has been Microsoft Office, and that is used in offices throughout the world for word processing and Excel. So therefore, when you implement any new devices, we believe that you should build on this core competency and target corporates and students and people that use Word and Microsoft Office and Excel first, and leverage your core competency of the Microsoft Office package onto these new devices and platforms.
So it's riding on the traditional
Yes.
products to the new dimensions.
On the slide behind us, there's 3 key things that we think corporates and students really value. The first is the functionality. Nothing comes close to rivaling Word or Excel. And so they want to be able to use your Microsoft Office packages easily across a number of different devices. The second is that functionality focus. They don't really want to sit down with their tablet to watch a movie all the time. That's not their key use of your product. They're using your products for work on the go. So it needs to be functional, easy to use, just like Microsoft Office. And finally, they really value the cloud and integration-based services you can provide them. The ability to type something out on their mobile and have it on their laptop at home. So those are the reasons that we think it will be best for you to focus on them first, to get the market share, prove your systems are successful, before then expanding your reach and your focus.
Sorry, one more question. The core part of this business is innovation, is future product. I think you have pointed out quite rightly during your presentation. Well done. But my question is, Microsoft did very well from the development of Windows when PC was still new, and it lagged behind the competitors when tablet arrived in the market, and Android, Apple, now they take the lead. But in your presentation, you still regard tablet as a new future product. It's not. It's existing product dominated by other people already. So what should be the future products in this industry? Is it still tablet or something else?
Yeah, so just to clarify, Victoria did mention how Microsoft still has a window of opportunity to break into the tablet market. Due to the correlation between your core competency and the use of tablets, you should enter the tablet market. We don't quite know what the future of technology will hold, but we believe it will be something similar to wearable electronics such as a smartwatch or smart glasses. That's why we suggest that Microsoft has an innovation team that is directly responsible for researching those future trends, as well as trends beyond that we couldn't see. Maybe that is a smart washing machine or a smart oven, we don't know, and we don't have enough time to enough hours to present that to you.
Do you think the existing structure, like in your presentation, you've talked a lot about some of the core strengths of Microsoft up until this point. Do you think the existing structure and the culture and just the way that the organization is run would become a bit of a hurdle to actually explore some of these new areas in terms of wearable technology, in terms of smart home appliances? Because obviously you focus quite a bit on the platform and a lot of the core areas, which may or may not be applicable anymore once you move into some of these kind of the new world. How do you propose for Microsoft to actually make that happen without interference from the old guard, if you would?
We see the One Microsoft strategy that Microsoft began to implement as being a really good step in the right direction, moving to a function-based structure, so all the engineers are together as opposed to being grouped into mobile, tablet, computer, etc. is a step in the right direction because it means you've got all your engineers and innovative staff in the same place working on ideas together. As part of changing the culture and really trying to centre it around innovation and entrepreneurship, it's important to align incentives with your employees to being one of innovation-based. Ways that you should do this is make sure that you are rewarding them for coming up with new ideas and aligning their incentives in order to do so. Ways you could do this is make sure that there is a certain amount of time allocated per week for them to sort of do their own thing, pursue their passions, their interests, come up with their ideas without having to be directly responsible to anyone or carry out day-to-day tasks. By giving them the resources and the time and freedom to do that, we hope that they will be excited about working in Microsoft and excited to innovate and engineer new ideas and devices like that. We hope that with this cultural change, if it is implemented meaningfully and thoroughly as we envisage under our strategy platform for growth, the old guard that you've mentioned in the case as well will be on board and be excited about this innovative future with Microsoft.
Final question. Well, I'm sure we're expecting Microsoft will be facing a lot of challenges with the different devices manufacturers. As there are smart, as you said, smartwatch, smart glasses, and there may be some smart hats coming up. So, do you have any, suggestions or solutions that Microsoft should step into their manufacturing markets as well?
Microsoft shouldn't step into the manufacturing market. If it chose to do so, it should make an acquisition like it did with Nokia, and leverage the existing partnerships that they have with manufacturers. Microsoft's core capability is innovation, and it should really focus all its efforts on that in order to be able to come up with the ideas and the engineering to be able to make things such as a wearable electronic hat possible for consumers in the future.
Any more questions? A job well done. Thank you.
Thank you.